Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod review. And today we're checking out something really special and really exciting, and that is the Nailer Mark II by Timmy76. This is going to be a recreation of the nail gun from Fallout New Vegas' Lonesome Road DLC, adapted for Fallout 4, and this thing is awesome. Really cool stuff. Now, before we begin, I do need to disclose something. This mod is not out yet. I am using an early release version. Timmy76 was gracious enough to give me the files early to do some bug testing and damage testing, and also for a nice little video preview to show you guys what is going to go on in this mod and to get you excited for its upcoming release, which should be relatively soon. Now then, this mod is everything you'd want from a lore-friendly weapon mod. Of course, new beautiful custom meshes and textures, custom reload animations, a newly added nail ammo type, as this is a nail gun, it needs proper nails to shoot, a ton of attachments over at the weapons workbench, and even leveled list integration that will be coming with the final release version of this mod. Now, I say that because in the build that I currently have, there is only one way to get this thing, and that is a static spawn. However, when this is released, Timmy76 does say that they plan to add this to the leveled list, and it should start spawning around level 25 on raiders and raider bosses, which I think is just perfect. This may even be a weapon to be added into some of the box loot pools, so whenever you check out different boxes, toolboxes, maybe you find a nail gun in there. That could make a bit of sense, but it's not going to start spawning until level 25. As this thing is a little bit powerful. Not overpowered by any means. The individual damage per nail is actually really low, but it has incredible fire rates and is a really cool stealth weapon. I like this thing a whole lot. It honestly performs a lot like it did in Fallout New Vegas, and I'm very excited to have one of these for Fallout 4. Nobody's made one yet, and I was even considering making one myself, but instead, Timmy76 has made one, and it looks excellent, so I'm really excited to talk about this. Let's go ahead and take this thing in-game, check out its stats, and some of its other really cool features. So for starters, let's talk about the stats for the Nailer Mark II. This thing is going to have a base damage of 19. It's using the newly added nail ammo type, a fire rate of 181. And by the way, this weapon is only available in full automatic, so that is interesting. It has a range of 71, an accuracy of 53, a weight of 3.7 pounds, and a value of 75 caps. Overall, pretty balanced. In my testing, the damage on this thing is pretty nice. It takes quite a few shots to kill a humanoid enemy, but it is a very deadly machine when it comes to headshots, as there's not a ton of recoil on this thing, as there really shouldn't be. Landing headshots is super easy with this, and with the high fire rate, you're able to put down targets pretty quickly, though it is going to consume quite a bit of your nail ammo. That being said, you can craft the ammo for this thing, as it is just nails. You can craft a single nail for 1 steel, or you can craft 100 nails for 100 steel if you want to do it in bulk, and I think that's perfect for a weapon like this. It's not going to perform as well as other high-tier weapons at its level, but it has craftable ammo, which makes this something that you can have a surplus of ammo for, and it's an excellent backup weapon in case you run out of 5.56, 50 cal, or any of the other big calibers. Now, when I considered making this weapon on my own, the biggest hurdle I saw in my way was animations, but Timmy76 actually opted for some custom animations that are already out there, and that is the animations for the defense gun, and I think they fit perfectly. The reload on this is actually really nice. I'll go ahead and let that play for you now so you can see exactly what it's going to look and sound like. I think the animations look absolutely great on this weapon. There is one minor nitpick with the animation set, and that is that the thumb clips through the weapon quite a bit when you're holding it, but that's really no fault of the author. That's just something that's going to happen when you're using pre-made animations. There isn't an animation set for the nail gun yet, and making animations is pretty difficult. So in my opinion, it's pretty minor, and I think the rest of it is totally fine, and definitely not super noticeable in combat. Now, surprisingly, there are actually a good bit of attachments over at the weapons workbench for this thing. Let's go ahead and break it down, starting with the receiver section. We have the automatic receiver, the hardened automatic receiver, the powerful automatic, the advanced automatic, and the rapid automatic receiver. Interestingly enough, the rapid automatic receiver actually does more damage than the advanced receiver, so that's pretty interesting, and it gives you even more fire rate, which is pretty crazy. And then on top of all of those, we have the fission automatic receiver. This is going to add a couple of fission batteries duct taped to the side of this thing that are wired in to give it even more power so it can shoot even faster. So that's really cool and a nice little aesthetic. For the barrels, we have a short barrel and a medium barrel. For the grips, we have quite a few options. We have the standard grip with no bar. This is going to give you the exact same stats, except that it's going to be lighter with no bar. We have the wire stock with no bar, which is just the same, and then the wire stock with tape, and the wire stock with tape and no bar. And the tape actually is visible here. If you turn it around, you'll see some duct tape wrapped around the wire stock to make it just a little bit more comfy. Now, for magazines, we have the standard stick magazine, the large stick magazine, the drum mag, and the heavy drum mag, which is going to significantly increase the weight, but give you a much bigger ammo capacity. For the sights, we actually do have options. We have the standard iron sights on this thing and a reflex sight added from Deadpool's grease gun. Now, interestingly enough, it does scoot the weapon over. That's just an issue with the bounding sphere. I'm sure that'll be fixed by the time this goes into full release. And then finally, in the muzzle category, we actually don't have any options. Now, that could be a symptom of this being early access, or maybe there just aren't any muzzle options. To be fair, I'm not sure what you could add to this in the way of compensators or suppressors, given that this is a nail gun. Though you could definitely add different types of makeshift types of bayonets, or even just scraps of metal sticking out to make this do more bash damage. That could be a potential avenue for muzzle devices. Now then, it is of course time for our damage test to see how this weapon performs in combat using Deathclaws as our baseline for damage. Now, one of the primary reasons that Timmy76 actually gave this mod to me for early access is to test out the damage on this thing. And what better way than using our patented damage test? It's not patented. Don't take that to court. Anyways, we're going to start off with this Deathclaw here using a standard version of the nail gun. Then we'll be testing out that rapid automatic receiver, and then testing out that fission automatic receiver to see how much the fire rate actually affects it, given that these two have the same damage. Now then, starting with the standard little nail gun here, aiming for the Deathclaw's weak point, let's see how it does. Pretty good so far, one magazine in. And using pretty much exactly 2 magazines, 60 nails to bring down a Deathclaw, that's pretty good. The individual damage per nail is pretty low, but once you throw a few into the Deathclaw, it actually stacks up pretty well. Keeping in mind there are no attachments and no perks on this thing, that's pretty decent for the standard nail gun. And I gotta say, doing other testing, this is pretty effective on humans as well. Now then, let's see how we do with the upgraded rapid receiver. And the answer is excellent. We put that Deathclaw down super fast using the extended mag. We actually only used about 33 bullets, or nails in this case, so that's pretty dang good. Let's see how the fire rate improves this thing. So it's going to be the same damage as was used on that Deathclaw, so it should be the same amount of nails, but the Deathclaw should go down much faster. And that definitely seems to be true. A fully upgraded version of this thing absolutely shreds through Deathclaws. Now, like I said, Timmy76 did task me with checking the balance on this thing, and in this current state, it seems relatively balanced. It does take a lot of upgrades to get it to this point, and you don't get the weapon until level 25, but also keep in mind you can throw on perks to increase the damage even further. So if I was going to say to tweak the damage, I would only tweak it down very minorly. Only a couple of ticks, to be honest, because you are going to be fighting much deadlier enemies than Deathclaws in the late game, and that comes in the forms of Mirelurk Queens, Deathclaw Matriarchs, and other nasty critters. So, all in all, this thing performs pretty dang well. But yeah, that is the Nailer Mark II, otherwise known as the H&H Tools nail gun from Fallout New Vegas, and it looks incredible in Fallout 4. Timmy76 has done an absolutely excellent job with this thing, and I'm really happy with how this mod looks so far. The models and textures look absolutely incredible, a perfect recreation of the old weapon, and I think it's something we really needed on the Nexus right now, a really cool new lore-friendly weapon. With that, I sadly can't plug this thing because it's not out just quite yet, but you know that as soon as it comes out, I will be covering it again in Mods Weekly, so you'll know that you can go and pick it up for yourself. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating. Consider subscribing if you haven't already for more videos just like this. Big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video, and a very special thank you to Captain Chaos, Helljumper, Indecisive Wolf, Jackie Noid, Timmy76, John Moreland, Cushy, Logan Raid Maiden, Mikerhan, Moonlit Gamer, Feed, and Youth RC for joining that Tier 3 Patreon membership. If you'd like to support the channel over on Patreon, you can do so using the link down in the description below, but it is completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.